Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll just make it real brief. I know you guys are very busy. Just want to thank you for your service to the city of Cape. I really appreciate all that you do for the city of Cape. It definitely doesn't go unnoticed. I know you guys spend a lot of time. You don't get paid for your work, so thank you very much for all you do for the city of Cape. My name is Mark Stone. I was interested in the Cape Girardeau Advisory Airport board member. Just kind of give a brief background of my information. I'm originally from Cape Girardeau. I graduated in 2001 from Cape Central High School. I ran track and cross country, and then I went on to run at Central Methodist University. I got my undergrad and my master's degree there. Worked there at the university for about 15 years in higher education. I have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old and my wife. We just moved back to Cape Girardeau after being gone for about 20 years or so back in June. And I worked for the United Way. It's just been great coming back, seeing all the positive things that Cape Girardeau's been doing there. And I just want to kind of just give a little background on information there. I was very involved in the city of Fayette. I was on the Parks and Rec board for 15 years. Raised money. We raised about $300,000 for a splash pad there. Was involved in the Mid-Missouri Eagle Scouts selection committee. I'm also an Eagle Scout there. I'm just really big on giving back and out in the community there. So that's kind of why my interest was for the advisory committee there. So it's just been great experience coming back to Cape and everything there. So also in the Air Force Reserve. So that's kind of one of the reasons I was interested in the Airport Advisory Committee too, just with my background information with that. That's about it. So thank you for your time.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. And yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Jackson Hill. I am also up for the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. I just wanted to come in and introduce myself, let you guys know that I have lived in Cape most of my life. I came up playing CASA, played Little League Baseball here. I'm currently part of the SEMO Disc Golf Group. I also have a 3-year-old, so we're very invested in all the parks in Cape. We're at the Splash Pad. We hang out at Kiwanis, Civilly, Arena. You know, we visit them all. We bike the trail. We walk. There's a lot that I see with this town, and there's a lot of good and a lot of good changes from, like with the baseball fields being the orange fences way back in the day to the modular plastic ones they have now that, you know, can stand up to a couple of years worth of wear.
But you didn't get hurt when you ran into the fence, did you?
No, I didn't. I also didn't catch the ball, so baseball was not my forte. I was much better at soccer. But there's a lot that I see that goes on here, and I would like to get involved. I'm actually also going to be doing the Leadership Academy that starts on Thursday. So I'm trying to get involved in the community a little bit more. And I just wanted to say hi and let you know some of the things that I've done professionally. I worked for the casino here for quite a while. I actually got transferred down and worked for the casino in Crothersville as their slots manager. So I have a lot of experience from that, working with whether it's state or legal enforcement. I've learned how to read laws and codes and interpret them. I've also figured out how to go through and find the right resources to answer questions and to help get jobs done the proper way. And it's really worked in terms of teaching me to do things right and to do them, you know, the way they need to be done the first time, instead of finding necessarily the fastest or the cheapest. While budgets are a concern, you know, it's not helpful if you have to redo the work every 2 years because it's not done properly. So I think I bring a lot to the board if I would be nominated, and I appreciate your time. So thank you very much.
I do want to tell you that
Yeah.
you're talking about the Citizens Academy.
Yes.
It has been postponed.
Oh, I did not receive that email, but okay.
Because of
No, that's okay.
COVID.
No,
So-
it may have gotten sent to my spam filter. So
Okay.
all right.
Just want to let you know.
Yeah.
I thought we had notified everybody, but
Well, like I said, it may have gotten sent to my spam filter. I've had some
Okay.
stuff getting diverted. So
that could be.
Yeah.
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else is here this evening for advisory board? If not, how about any appearances for items not listed on the agenda? Ms. Ramona? I saw you on the list.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
How are you?
Good, long time. Some of y'all know C, but so y'all need my address and stuff. Yeah. The 1433 Kingsway. So the couple of things that I wanted to just bring up tonight, and I know it's not going to be an overnight solution, but just something I want to bring to your attention, which is the housing crisis in Cape Girardeau. And if you want to know more about that, I'd rather talk to you more individually, but to not waste time tonight. But there is a housing crisis in Cape Girardeau. Okay. The second thing, which I had already brought to the school board's attention, so I'm bringing it to yours, and maybe I can get more clarity here when it comes to Jefferson Elementary. Because I believe you all, and if I'm wrong, I would rather be corrected than think ill of what I'm thinking. So at the time when they came to you all about the start of the pool at Jefferson, and you guys had went down to Atlanta, saw this purpose-built community, all this stuff. It wasn't Atlanta, but around that area. And so you came back, and the city had X amount of dollars to put together with the school's amount of dollars, and came up with, I think you all had 6 and they had 4 or something like that. And there was also a bond issue that was passed that Alma Schroeder and Jefferson School were to get renovations. And that was about 12 million, and about 6 went to Alma Schroeder. So that, in my mind, I would think this other 6 would go to Jefferson. So between that 10, between your 6, that 6, and the other 4, that's like 16 million. So I was kind of wondering, I know they started the renovations at Jefferson with a contractor, I think around 11 million. So I was just wondering what happened with the other monetaries that would have gone into Jefferson. That's kind of where I am right now.
Okay. Give me your phone number and I'll call you and we'll have a talk.
In front of everybody? I don't need those type of problems, man. I will give it to you,
Okay.
but not right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Write it down and give it to me.
Give it
And
to
I-
Gail. Or
Give it to
Molly
Gail or Molly or whoever.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Easy.
Be careful there.
That's probably why that's there, so keep it up here.
Ramona, I will tell you, I was down there Thursday, and I know that they're already moved a ton of dirt on that, but it seems like a lot of things are going on. Well, I'm sure you're aware of all the additions and pieces that they're going to be adding, but pretty excited about what's happening down there.
I will call you and set up a meeting when we can sit and talk about both issues. How's that?
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
good. Thanks, Ramona. Anybody else for any item that's not on the agenda this evening? If not, we'll have a agenda review.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, we have several items that we added to the consent agenda for your review tonight. We can start with number 7, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Bacon Farmer Workman for the pedestrian improvements at US 61 Kings Highway North and North Cape Drive. And number 8, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Zahner and Associates for surveying service associated with the TTF6 projects. Number 9, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Stantec Consulting and sewer system improvement project. A resolution of support for the proposal from Mako Development for the Heritage Manor apartment tax credit project. Number 11, approval of the transfer of ownership of the special use permit for 1224 Linden Street. And number 12, accept improvements for authorized final payment to Nip Kelly Equipment Company, Inc. for the concrete street repair project. We have a few new items that we want to add in terms of the ordinances. And that would be number 13, of course, an ordinance approving the record plat of Cape West Crossing East First Subdivision. Number 14, an ordinance approving the record plat of J.E. Burton Subdivision. Number 15, an ordinance approving the record plat of Rivers Edge Subdivision. Number 16, an ordinance appropriating the expenditures of ARP funds for the Public Safety Professional Services. Number 17, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code by changing the ordinance of property located at 3203 Bloomfield Road, 440 South Mount Auburn Road, 612 Northview Drive, and a portion of vacated Northview Drive right-of-way from R1 to C2. And of course, number 18, an ordinance accepting temporary construction easements from various property owners for the Main Street project. And of course, the last one, number 19, an ordinance vacating the city's interest in a portion of Gibney Avenue right-of-way. Mayor, that concludes the agenda review.
Okay. We will now move into regular session, and we'll call that to order. We'll have the roll call, please.
Bob Fox,
Here.
Robbie Guard,
Here.
Stacy Kinder,
Here.
Shelley Moore,
Here.
Dan Preston is absent, Nate Thomas,
Here.
Shannon Truxell.
I'll now entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Robbie, seconded by Nate. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. We have two publics this evening. The first is a public hearing to consider to rezone property at 3203 Bloomfield Road, 440 South Mount Auburn Road, 614 Northview Drive, and a portion of the vacated Northview Drive right-of-way from R1 Single Family Suburban Residential District to C2 Highway Commercial District. Is there anybody here this evening to appear before the council on behalf of this public hearing? Good evening, Jeff.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Jeff Maurer. Live here in Cape Girardeau on Dalhousie Drive. We're the developer that's doing this project right now. Certainly right now it's created a lot of dirt and taken away a lot of green space. It's not very pretty right now for sure. Have had a chance to visit with a number of the neighbors that are adjoining our property over the last year or so as we've done the different phases. Feel like we have an open dialogue with everybody and we're working with them to move fencing, add fencing in some cases, add landscaping, try to help restore as much as we can a nice private separation between the commercial development we're doing and the residential neighborhood that still exists adjacent to that.
It's good. Make a great transition.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Any questions? Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for investing in Cape Girardeau.
Absolutely.
Anybody else? If not, I will close the public hearing. We also have a public hearing to consider vacating the city's interest in a portion of Gibney Avenue right-of-way in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Anybody here this evening to speak on behalf of this public hearing? If not, I will close the public hearing. Are there any appearances this evening for any item listed on the agenda?
I think I did have something.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Me again. So we just had a question about some of them, just for clarity, because we just don't know what they are.
Okay.
Number 6, I think maybe just because I don't know where those places are and what that means, like vacating the city's interests.
That is on North Main Street and Spanish Street down, it's where Catholic Charities is building their new building down there off of North Main, kind of down toward the casino. There's some areas in there where some old alleyways that we need to vacate interest for
Oh,
that
okay.
project to continue.
So will somebody, I guess somebody else is gonna be taking care of it?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
all of the persons have been notified and agreed to what's being proposed.
Oh, okay. And I guess the number 11 that you wrote about, that property at Linden, is that across from,
I'd
is
have
that
to
that
look.
apartment place? Not the tall tower, but.
Yeah, that's the Heritage Manor project.
That's the Heritage Manor
Oh, is that
project.
what that is? Okay. I think. But those, is a residence, do people?
They are,
live there?
it's a residential project,
Oh.
yes.
So everything's okay, they'll still be living
Yes.
there? Okay. I think that's it.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
all right, you're welcome. Anybody else for any item that's listed on the agenda this evening? If not, we will move to the consent agenda. Eric? Thank you, sir.
Bill number 21-127, an ordinance authorizing city manager to execute amendment number 1 of the state block grant agreement with Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission to fund the completion of a master drainage study at the Cape Girardeau Regional Airport, and ordinance authorizing city manager to execute amendment number 1 of the state block grant agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission to fund the completion of a master drainage study at the Cape Girardeau Regional Airport. Bill 21-128, an ordinance accepting a permanent utility easement from Patricia Lee Pope for a portion of the vacated Northview Drive in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. An ordinance accepting a permanent utility easement from Patricia Lee Pope for a portion of the vacated Northview Drive in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 21-129, an ordinance vacating the city's interest in existing alleys, easement, and rights-of-way between North Main Street and North Bennett Street in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Ordinance vacating the city's interest in existing alleys, easement, and right-of-way between North Main Street and North Bennett Street in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 21-132, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Bacon Farmer Workman Engineering and Testing, Inc. for pedestrian improvements at US 61 and Kings Highway in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 21-133, a resolution authorizing the manager to execute an agreement with Donner and Associates, Inc. for surveying services associated with Transportation Trust Fund 6 projects in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 21-135, a resolution authorizing city manager to execute an agreement with Stantec Consulting Services, Inc. for sewer system improvement projects in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And bill number 21-134, a resolution of support for the proposal from Mako Development Company, LLC for the Heritage Manor Apartments housing development in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
You have before you consent agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Robbie, seconded by Shannon. Any discussion at all? I would say I'm glad to see the movement forward for the pedestrian improvements at Kings Highway and Cape Rock and Maria Louise. It's a busy intersection. The traffic moves through there very quickly. With Arena Park being there and the police station and court now being there. Not a lot of people walk over there, but there are more people walking to the park. And it's just a safety issue. And we did have somebody that was hit by a car there last year or year before. So it's important. Any other comments on the consent agenda? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. New ordinances this evening. Bill number 21-136, an ordinance approving the record plat of Cape West Crossing, First subdivision.
So moved.
Motion by Robbie, seconded by, okay. Yeah. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Bill number 21-137, an ordinance approving the record plat of J.E. Burton subdivision.
So moved.
Motion by Nate. Do I hear a second? Second by Stacy. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Bill number 21-138, an ordinance approving the record plat of Rivers Edge subdivision.
Second.
Motion by Shannon, second by Nate. Kind of an appropriate name considering this down overlooking the river. Kind of a neat concept. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Bill number 21-139, an ordinance appropriating the expenditure of American Rescue Plan funds related to public safety professional services for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2022 in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Motion by Shannon,
Second.
second by Robbie. Any discussion?
I'm just glad that we can give a help where maybe some help might be needed.
Sure. And I might add, this is something that will continue to occur. We're having this ordinance because it was not included in our budget, this year's budget. It will occur again in 23, 24, and 25, but it will be part of the budget then, so we won't need to have a special ordinance to include it. So, any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Bill number 21-140, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinances in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri by changing zoning of property located at 3203 Bloomfield Road, 440 South Mount Auburn Road, 614 Northview Drive, and a portion of the vacated Northview Drive right-of-way in the city and county of Cape Girardeau, Missouri from R1 to C2.
So moved.
Motion by Nate, second by Stacy. Then this is the public hearing we had this evening. Any discussion?
I just wanted to echo what Robbie said, and that's to thank Mr. Mauer and his team for their continual investment in our community. And being the school's in session now, I drive by there every day in that stretch, and even though it was residential, a lot of it was undeveloped, and I would argue probably undevelopable or unable to be developed. And so now it's sitting there shovel ready, as they say, and it'll be a good addition to the growth of Cape Girardeau. So thank you.
Anything else? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Bill number 21-141, an ordinance accepting temporary construction easements from various property owners for the Main Street project in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
So moved.
Motion by Robbie,
Second.
second by Nate. Again, gets these projects, these TTF5 projects moving along.
What a bunch of work to get it done.
Isn't that the truth?
Golly.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Bill number 21-142, an ordinance vacating the city's interest in a portion of Gibney Avenue right-of-way in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
So moved.
Motion by Robbie, seconded by Nate. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. There really are no appointments this evening. I don't know of any other business. I will entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session for legal action, litigation, and confidential communication with legal counsel and personnel matters pursuant to revised section Missouri 610021, sections 1 and 3.
So moved.
All those in favor, we're adjourned to closed session. Don't want to lose that.